Over the course of this video, I'm going to show you how to build out your customer service team for your 7 to 8 figure Shopify brand. And if you're wondering who I am, my name is Boyan. I teach on my channel the super nuanced things when it comes to scaling ecom because I work with 7 and 8 figure brands to do their email marketing. So I'm trying to teach you so much shit that you just feel bad not to outsource it to us because you build up so much trust with myself. So how to build a CS team for your ecom brand. Let's get into it. So I've kind of split this training into 4 parts. Oh, by the way, like this is all of the other trainings I've ever done on my channel. You should really check them out. You're going to find them super useful. Anyways, let's dive in. So Zendesk and Gorgeous. So basically just picking out a ticket system, hiring and building SOPs around it, some best practices. So let's dive into it. Now, if you're finding CS complaints to be too high to keep up with, switch over to like a Zendesk or a Gorgeous, because if you're managing it directly through like a Gmail inbox or something along those lines, it's going to be really tough to kind of like manage all of the different tags. Basically, you'll need to create like a tagging system that says, is this ticket solved? Is this still a problem? What type of problem it is, etc., etc. Using either Zendesk or Gorgeous is going to help out massively. The reason why I'm recommending these 2 platforms is just because this is what I've seen most of my clients be on, who are kind of like 7 to 9 figures. I would recommend that. In terms of hiring and where to hire, in terms of like lead quality and that kind of stuff, I would recommend if you're a regular ecom brand that's kind of selling normal B2C type of like consumer good type of products, just hire from onlinejobs.ph and pay them anywhere from $300 to $500 per month, not per hour. Gosh, that would be crazy. Very cheap labor, great English. Philippines is definitely the way to go if you're trying to outsource to a high quality customer service rep. I would definitely avoid countries like India or Pakistan, those kind of regions. Stick to the Philippines if you want cheap customer service. Another country you can explore is South Africa. So yeah, those are your 2 options really. If you want to have like a live chat system, basically any customer service rep at any given time can handle around 5 threads at the same time without like going crazy. The main thing you should be training for is response time because people want their problems solved fast, right? So make sure to be prioritizing people who are submitting their emails quickly and then just like getting the reply ASAP. One way of doing this is obviously to just set the expectation with your team that, you know, a shorter email that's replied to very fast is much better than like a super eloquently written long ass customer service email, right? And a caveat to this is if you have a high average order value product, some like anything above $500 is what I would consider high ticket for the ecom space. Hire CS onshore in-house to provide a better experience, as well as you'll be able to actually have them pick up the phone and actually call the customer if there's any big issues, right? Pro tip, obviously only ever use Western names. So, you know, even if you end up outsourcing in India and that kind of stuff, don't just like switch it to a white name, basically. For example, Boyan would become Brian. Like I've literally done this when I first started my business. It does build a little bit more trust and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit fucked up, but whatever. Next, you're going to want to build training SOPs. So obviously hiring for VAs, you know, it's not that hard. The SOPs is where it's like really a bit more nuanced. So in terms of the SOP, it's basically covering a few key areas, right? You want to really emphasize the mindset of you want to provide solutions fast over perfect, right? You also want to set expectations around response time. So for example, it's like with my agency, with our clients, any questions are answered within the hour, generally within about 10 minutes, because people don't want to feel like they're left out, right? Especially if it's an unsatisfied customer, you want to get to them yesterday rather than tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the time, the longer you drag it out, the more the dissatisfaction compounds, right? So really set that expectation with your team that they need to reply ASAP. That's what I kind of do within my agency, and it's been working super, super well. And you want to also make some guidelines around like tone of voice, how to write signatures, and that kind of stuff, right? Obviously, you're going to want to create training videos around how to interface with your customer service platform of choice, like Zendesk or Gorgeous, and also some sort of escalation process, right? Like if a customer is threatening to sue, obviously, if they threaten repeatedly, then you might want to step in as like someone more senior to actually look at the situation. Maybe not you personally if you're the CEO, founder of like a 7 to 8 figure brand, but definitely someone more senior on the team, right? So these are the areas to basically cover. Some best practices, right? I've seen a lot of brands try to optimize for 24/7 support. So for example, they would hire 3 agents, each working 8-hour shifts, that kind of stuff. It's not needed. What you actually want to be prioritizing is you want to prioritize operating with multiple agents to handle tickets fast during the working hours of your local market. So, for example, what I mean by local market is just where 80% of your sales go to, for example, right? So, if your local market is US, EST working hours is perfect. You can always require your offshore team members to work EST or US hours. You're not really going to get any complaints with that because if they want to work for a company abroad, this is very standard practice. You always want to also prioritize the response times over pure quality of response, as I said earlier. And generally speaking, you want to avoid bad reviews, especially on places like Trustpilot or in the US, I believe you guys have Better Business Bureau, that kind of stuff, right? Try to avoid those at all costs because they're much harder to remove and quality control for compared to reviews on your actual website. To mitigate those, I'll be honest, you just can't be stingy with refunds, right? Unless it's like $50 to $100 plus type of refunds. Those types of refunds, yeah, add a bit more due process, that kind of stuff. But if it's like low ticket shit, like $20, $30, just give the money back. Like if a customer is really like hating the experience, just refund them, right? You're not going to lose that much money. There's more good customers in the world than there are bad. And a bad review, like a legitimate one on Trustpilot or something, is going to cost the business way more than the refund itself in the long run. Pro tip that I just thought of is if you want to control for negative reviews on your actual product page, what you can do is tactically create your own 1-star reviews. And in those 1-star reviews, say like the whole experience was good or whatever, but just pick 1 star anyways. So that way, when people filter by 1-star reviews, like I've seen in like many Hotjar recordings, people, instead of reviewing for seeing the most recent reviews, they go for the lowest rating straight away, right? They're going to see a few 1-star reviews saying that, oh, it was actually great. So in their head, they're just going to automatically think that people selected 1 star by accident. And that way you can kind of block the real 1-star reviews. Bit of a more of a gray hat type of tactic, but it works really well. Lastly, best practice, just give your staff autonomy to solve the actual problems over providing really templated SOP type of responses, which is like, dear sir or madam, we're really sorry, this is your experience, blah, 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 right? Just give them autonomy to actually speak to people like a human being, as opposed to some templated customer service agent. So yeah, super quick tutorial. This is actually how you build a CS team, and it's going to help you to about probably like 20-30 million. Past that, you'll probably want like customer experience managers and that kind of stuff. But this entire video is going to cover you all the way up until that point. So yeah, hope you found this useful. If you did, and you're a 7 to 8 figure brand, book in a call with me. I can show you how to scale and make you a shit ton of money with email and SMS marketing and up that lifetime value. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.